In the glimmering world of wealth and luxury, Maya thought she had it all: a charming billionaire husband, lavish parties, and dreams of a perfect future. But when whispered secrets and late-night calls began to unravel the facade of their fairy tale, she stumbled upon a terrifying truth: her husband's empire was built on lies and deceit. As the walls closed in, Maya faced a heart-wrenching choice: to remain in the gilded cage of love or break free and expose the darkness that threatened to consume them both. Before we dig deep into this story, let's take a moment to reflect on the complexities of love, trust, and betrayal. In a world where appearances often mask harsh realities, join us as we explore Maya's journey, a tale of devotion tested by deception. Together, we'll uncover the challenges she faced and the choices she had to make when everything she thought she knew came crashing down. Are you ready to embark on this emotional roller coaster? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story. And tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Let's dive in. When Maya first met Jonathan Bell, she thought all her dreams had come true. He was charming, handsome, and most importantly, incredibly wealthy. As a successful tech entrepreneur, his net worth broke into the billions, but it was his personality that captivated her. He had an easy smile and a way of making her feel special. They quickly fell in love, and before long, they were married in a lavish ceremony that felt like a fairy tale. Maya had always been a hard worker, climbing the corporate ladder in a marketing firm while studying for her master's degree. The wedding was a whirlwind of luxury: designer dresses, exquisite flowers, and an extravagant honeymoon in the Maldives. But as their life together began, Maya noticed that Jonathan often avoided questions about his business. He would speak vaguely about trade secrets and confidential information, so she assumed it was just part of being a billionaire. As the honeymoon bliss faded, strange things started to happen. Maya began receiving mysterious phone calls late at night. Sometimes she'd overhear Jonathan speaking in hushed tones, urgency lacing his voice. A nagging feeling of unease settled in her heart. Perhaps she was just overthinking it. After all, she had a perfect life and a loving husband. But deep down, the shadows stirred. One night, she found a file on Jonathan's laptop while cleaning up. The file was titled "Expansion Plans." Curiosity got the better of her, and she opened it. The documents referenced shady deals with international companies and partnerships that made her stomach turn. Just as she was piecing together what she saw, Jonathan walked in. "What are you doing?" he asked, his voice cold. I just wanted to know more about your business," she stammered, panic rushing through her veins. He took the laptop from her hands and shut it. "My work is complicated, Maya. You wouldn't understand." Maya couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The next day, she reached out to her friend Lila, a journalist with a knack for uncovering the truth. Over coffee, she explained her worries. "I think Jonathan is hiding something from me," Maya whispered, looking around as if someone could overhear. "It feels like a web of lies." Lila smiled knowingly. "Let's dig deeper. I'll help you." They began to investigate Jonathan's business, looking into his companies and past dealings. What they discovered was unsettling. Jonathan's wealth was built on dubious contracts, monopolies, and tactics that skirted the edges of legality. But Maya still couldn't believe he would actually be involved in anything criminal. One evening, Maya gathered her courage and confronted Jonathan. She laid out everything she knew, hoping for honesty. Instead, Jonathan's eyes darkened, and his expression turned from surprise to anger. "You think you can just invade my privacy? You don't understand what it takes to build an empire," he shouted, pacing the room. Maya's heart sank. "But Jonathan, you can't keep this from me. We're married. I deserve to know the truth." "Truth? The truth is messy, Maya. Sometimes, people get hurt in business. It's not just black and white," he snapped. Frustrated and hurt, Maya turned away, feeling betrayed. The man she thought she knew was slipping away from her grasp. What had she married into? Days passed and tension filled the house. Conversations became fleeting and filled with barbs. But things took a turn for the worse when reporters showed up at their door, asking about Jonathan's dealings. A company he worked closely with was under investigation for fraud, and they wanted his comments. Jonathan was furious. He slammed the door, locking Maya inside the house as he rushed outside to manage the crisis. Alone, she felt scared and trapped. The luxurious life she had enjoyed felt like a gilded cage. Lila advised Maya to leave, but she hesitated. "I love him," she argued. "He's still the man I fell in love with." The thought of leaving the life she had built was unbearable. But every day brought more doubt. One night, after a particularly heated argument, Maya found solace in a walk outside. She stumbled upon a group of protesters outside one of Jonathan's companies, angry at the shady dealings they had uncovered. As she listened to their chants, a group of them recognized her as Jonathan's wife. "Maya, you need to speak out. He's ruining lives," one woman yelled. Maya was taken aback, her heart racing. She never saw the reality of what Jonathan's business did until now. Returning home, she confronted Jonathan again, determined to make a choice. "Your business isn't just corporate dealings, Jonathan. It impacts lives. How can you say it's all right?" Jonathan's eyes flashed with irritation. "You don't understand the bigger picture. I'm providing jobs. Don't you care about that?" "What about justice?" she asked, tears streaming down her face. "What about honesty?" He slammed his fist on the table, splintering the wood. "You don't get to question me." As their relationship spiraled, Maya decided to consult a lawyer about her options. The lawyer uncovered an uncomfortable truth. Jonathan had numerous hidden assets, entities linked to offshore accounts, and connections to international crime. Maya felt sickened and betrayed. Pushing through her fears, she finally decided it was time to leave him. She packed her things, leaving a note explaining her feelings. But before she could leave, Jonathan returned home unexpectedly. "Where do you think you're going, Maya?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. "So you can silence me again?" she shot back. "I won't be part of this anymore. I deserve the truth." "What's the truth, Maya?" he asked, his expression darkening. "That I took risks to build a life for us? You knew what I was before. You've lived the life of luxury and opulence. Can you really throw it all away?" "I can't live a lie, Jonathan," she responded, her heart racing. "The woman I am deserves honesty, not deception." Jonathan moved closer, the anger practically radiating from him. "You think leaving me will protect you? You're making a grave mistake. I won't let you ruin everything I've worked for." Before Maya could respond, she heard a knock on the door. To her horror, it was the police. "We have a warrant to search the premises for evidence related to an ongoing investigation," one officer stated. Jonathan's face turned crimson as he tried to muster his usual charm, but it was too late. Maya felt a mix of relief and fear. This was the moment she'd been waiting for, yet it was also terrifying. As the officers entered, she watched Jonathan's facade crumble. He looked at her in disbelief, and for a moment, she felt a flicker of fear for her safety. "I didn't do anything wrong," he yelled, but his voice held no power. As the officers searched through the house, the reality of the situation crashed over Maya. This was it, her life as she knew it was collapsing. Yet, deep down, she felt invigorated. This was her chance to break free from the chains that bound her to a life of lies. With the investigation underway, Maya moved in with Lila, away from the luxury that had once been her life. Although she feared for her future, she felt a newfound strength in her independence. Lila supported her, encouraging her to focus on rebuilding her life. Days turned into weeks as the media frenzy surrounding Jonathan escalated. Stories of his corrupt dealings filled news cycles, and Maya found herself thrust into the spotlight as the estranged wife of the billionaire. To her surprise, backlash from the public turned in her favor. Many sympathized with her courage to speak out against the injustices she had witnessed. During this tumultuous time, Jonathan's true character began to surface, painting him not just as a businessman but as a manipulative figure who harnessed power for his gain. The community began rallying around Maya, urging her to share her story. Then, just when things started to look up, Jonathan reached out to Maya through a mutual friend, begging for a chance to talk. Still reeling from everything, Maya cautiously agreed to meet him, thinking perhaps he could show some remorse. When they met, Maya felt a mix of anger and sadness. "Why are you doing this, Jonathan?" she confronted him, feeling the tears threaten to spill over. "Everything you built is coming undone because of your choices." "I can fix this, Maya. Just give me one more chance," he pleaded, desperation etched across his face. "We can go back to how things were." "But they'll never be how they were. You've shown me who you really are," she replied, shaking her head. "I won't be part of your lies anymore." "Then I'll make sure you regret this," he hissed, his voice dark and dangerous. The coldness in his eyes reminded her of how far he had fallen. The man she had loved had dissolved completely, replaced by someone she no longer recognized. As the investigation continued, damning evidence accumulated against Jonathan. He faced serious charges and was outed to the entire community as a fraud. The glimpse of who he had once been faded with the persistent barrage of betrayal. Maya found solace in the kindness of her friends and supporters, slowly piecing her life back together. Though heart-ached, she used her platform to shed light on the issues surrounding corporate greed and the danger of blind ambition. But Jonathan continued to lash out, leveraging his connections to tarnish her name further. The betrayal cut deep, but it only strengthened her resolve. Maya knew the truth, and she refused to let his manipulation dim her light. Months later, as Jonathan was convicted and sentenced for his crimes, Maya stood on the steps of the courthouse, a sense of closure washing over her. She had faced the storm head-on and emerged stronger and wiser, ready to rebuild her life without the burden of deceit. In the aftermath, she found her voice, using her experience to help others who had been victimized by the darkness of greed and corruption. With Lila by her side, she started a non-profit organization dedicated to supporting victims of financial crimes, helping them reclaim their lives. As she moved forward, Maya learned a profound lesson. Sometimes the hardest struggles lead to the most beautiful transformations. She accepted that failure and betrayal weren't reflections of her worth but rather battles that shaped her into a stronger woman. In choosing honesty and integrity, she not only liberated herself from the chains of her past but also became a beacon for others seeking hope. In the end, Maya lived a life not defined by wealth or status but enriched by love, resilience, and truth. Though it had been painful, she had found strength and purpose through her journey, proving that even in the face of betrayal, one person's light could shine brightly among the shadows. What do you think Maya should have done differently when she first discovered Jonathan's secrets? How would you react if you found out your partner was involved in illegal activities? Do you believe it's ever acceptable to keep secrets in a relationship? Why or why not? What part of Maya's journey resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments section. We'd love to hear your thoughts and insights. If you enjoyed Maya's journey from blissful love to a fight for truth and integrity, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Share your thoughts in the comments. How would you handle betrayal in a relationship? Join the conversation and be a part of our community where we explore the complexities of love, trust, and resilience. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and remember, the truth might be painful, but it can also be empowering.